Yeah, I knocked on thousands of doors in 2019, and I did hear, I did get some doors that didn't like Stephen Mandel and the fact that he was part of us, that he was the leader, turned them off. But I have to say, the vast majority looked at Stephen Mandel, and I think he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He gave us instant credibility on our ability to lead this province, had we been chosen to do so and given that honor. So, I would argue that in that case, the credibility factor for the Alberta Party, coming off of Greg Clark stepping away, which I didn't support, but I wish Greg had been able to stay there. I thought he'd earned the capabilities of doing that, or the right to be able to take us into the next election. That's not how it worked out, and Stephen allowed us to do that. And I know you mentioned that he took a role on AHS board after the election. And Greg Clark took a role actually after the election as well. And both of them took roles in areas that they felt they could still make a difference. So yes, technically working for the UCP, but actually from Stephen Mandel's perspective, he was working for Alberta Health Services, which he was passionate about the healthcare file. He had been, as you know, the Minister of Health for a short period of time before he was, before the by-election even, and after. And Greg Clark was passionate about the electricity file. And so he's working with the Alberta...
The balancing pool.
The balancing pool, thank you. And he was passionate about that. So they took positions where they could make a difference, and that's right. What a lot of the people in the Alberta Party, that's what we're here for, is because we believe we can make a difference in our province for the benefit of Albertans. So, are they representing the Alberta Party? Sort of. Are they doing it under the banner of the UCP? Yes.
So I don't mind weighing in. I was also on the provincial board preceding that leadership change. And like Sue, I did not want to see Greg step down. I thought he was a good leader, solid. I'm also the candidate in Calgary Elbow here and have Greg's endorsement. And part of the reason I got involved in the party in the first place was because of his integrity, his ethics, his competency, his compassion for people. His leadership is part of the reason I got involved in the first place. So I'll start with that. However, I have to give credit where credit is due. Stephen Mandel raised more money than the party had ever seen. It was approximately $500,000. It was also the first time the party had had a full slate of candidates, 87 candidates, and also significantly increased the vote for the Alberta Party. So when Greg was leader, it was around 2% provincially. And then when Stephen Mandel was leader, it was just over 9% provincially. So, and just under 200,000 votes across the province. Now, unfortunately, the votes weren't concentrated sufficiently in enough ridings to actually get some seats. And so I think if I reflect on that, I think, could we have done something different in terms of strategically looking at a couple of different ridings that we thought we had the best chance in and putting more resources, like Greg Clark's, for example, here in Calgary? Should we have all fallen in and supported his campaign? I think an argument can be made for that we should have done that. Because at the end of the day, we need seats in the legislature to make the difference and to be relevant as a political party.